Good morning. Holy shit. Good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? And yeah, I'm back. I got 3 days off, so I'll be putting videos out consistently, one every day, at least. And yeah, let's talk about CVC. CVC, it's going to be non-personal rewards. That's great, because the last two back-to-back have been personal rewards, if I do remember correctly. So that is nice. A little breather for everybody. Let's look at the rewards here. So if you're in tier 6 like my clan and myself, your last bump is going to be a legendary tome, void shard. Very good, very good. Two of them, 3 void shards, bunch of energy. Good shit, good shit. Also, Monday reminder, please, if you are in a clan, which I hope you are, you gotta be smart about this. Finish your clan quests, okay? This is my last one here. I gotta do clear the Dragon's Lair 200 times. I'll be doing that today probably just to get the extra 200 coins. My strategy for this, by the way, and we have a rule in the clan. On the reset on Tuesday, you're able to pick one of each difficulty if you so wish. So you can pick one elite, one expert, and one basic. But if you wait till Thursday, you can pick up 2 more elite quests that are left over from what people haven't chosen. Okay, so something to think about. Let's see, we're still 30 of 30. So, yeah, sorry, a lot of ums. But there are summoning events going on starting tomorrow during CVC. The first one is going to be to summon Duchess from Ancients and Sacreds, okay? So she's amazing. Personally, I have 2 of them. She is one of the best legendaries in the game that's non-void. She even gives a lot of voids a run for their money. Most voids, actually. Her A1 gives a shield to the champion's HP that's the lowest, right? And then Shroud of Souls blocks debuffs and increases attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. She also places Perfect Veil on all allies except herself for 2 turns. This is on a 4-turn cooldown. It's kind of long. She'd be severely overpowered if we get that down to a 3-turn. So, I was right. Okay. And then she has a AoE Mass Revive. Spectral Rebirth revives all dead allies with 70% HP, which is really good. On a 4-turn cooldown when booked, places regular Veil on all allies except herself for a turn, and then puts continuous heal on all allies for 2 turns. Pretty great, right? But then she has this passive which decreases the damage taken by all allies from AoE attacks by 25% and by bosses by 15%. She has an aura that is an all battles speed aura. Sorry, I just woke up, got out of the shower. She has great base stats, 103 base speed, 1288 base defense, and very good base HP at 22470. And her resistance is pretty regular for a support champ. All around, Duchess of the 2 still one of the most sought after champions in the game, even after all these years and after power creep, right? So that kind of tells you how powerful she's been forever. But then, right, on Wednesday, for the Void, I have him. I wanted him since I saw him come out because he is essentially a vampire undead Roman legionnaire. It is Nehkret the Great, okay? Nehkret has one of the lowest book costs of any legendary in the game. Legendaries used to have really low book costs. Like if you look at Bad Alcazar and you look at Nehkret, they both need 6 tomes to fill out their roster, okay? Realistically, you only need 2, and you need them to land right on the A2 and A3. But Nehkret has a lot going on. Okay, his A1 attacks an enemy 3 times. When booked, has a 30% chance of placing decreased attack for a turn. This effect cannot be resisted, so he doesn't need accuracy for the only ability that places a debuff. Very cool. Excuse me. Legion of the Damned. It's a 4-turn cooldown when booked. He will team up with an ally to attack an enemy. All allies under his ally protection buffs will join the attack and will use their default skills. This will also grant an extra turn if no enemies are killed during this attack. Pretty good. His A3, Disturbing Infusion. He will place block debuffs, ally protection, and strengthen on an ally for 3 turns with a 3-turn cooldown when booked. The ally protection cannot be removed. It's very important. And then he has 2 passives. Unsleeping Aegis. Whenever an ally is attacked while under an ally protection buff placed by this champion, places a shield buff on the ally equal to 30% of this champion's max HP for 2 turns. Occurs only if the ally does not already have a shield buff placed on them by him. So they could have a bolster on him, but then they get another shield on him, as long as he's not the one that has the bolster set, I assume. So, also decreases the cooldown of this champion's Legion of the Damned is A2 by 2 turns if the shield buff is placed. Yeah, he ramps up. He's like, we're going, right? And then his other passive, Arise My Minions, places block, debuffs, and strengthen an ally protect. So he puts the first 2 on for 3 turns, and then he puts the last one on for 6 turns, and then the ally protection buff cannot be removed. So it's his disturbing infusion, but it starts at the beginning of the fight, and it goes to the ally with the lowest max HP. So he's essentially protecting your damage dealer. So I have a team set up for Arena. I have quite a few teams set up for Arena where my Rhodos is my lowest max HP champion. He'll protect the Rhodos. Cupidus in my Venus comp for my couples team protects Venus or Cupidus every time. It's just great. It allows you to build super glass cannons and still have that defense, okay? So and then he has this aura, resist in all battles by 60, okay? Nehkret's no joke. I love him. I got lucky. I tell you a quick story. So I didn't have a Siphi for years, and I didn't have Nehkret for years. And then I decided to pop, I think it was like 30 void shards within 2 weeks, as I got lucky with like Clan Boss and shit like that. Maybe it was within a month. And back to back, I got Siphi and then I got Nehkret. You just get lucky like that sometimes. And if you also want to see some luck, go check out my video from yesterday, opening void shards. Shout out my wife for allowing me to spend the money to buy that Shocktober pack. That was actually a pretty decent pack if you're just looking for void shards and energy, which, being at the end game, you are. That's what you're looking for. It's not about the mythics. It's not about any of that other shenanigans. It's about hitting void legendaries and farming gear. It really is what it is. And farming ascension potions and shit like that now too. Because I did get lucky yesterday, and I'm not trying to rub it in anybody's face, but now I can really farm Sand Devil's Necropolis really easily. And I can't wait for that because I've struggled. I have the auto team set up, and I hate them. I hate them. So there's that. We're going to come out with a part 2 to this episode in a bit. See ya. Welcome back to part 2, everybody, of the video. Yeah, we're going to go over the fusion that's going to be starting on Thursday. And that is going to be Timothy the Fool. Excuse me. It feels like April Fool's with this. It really does. We have a Jester. He's very lackluster. I'm curious to see what his partner does, his couple. But let's just go over his abilities here. And I'm going to tell you some positives to this guy, but I'm going to really just tell you the negatives. So his A1, Carnival Hammer. Attacks an enemy 2 times. Each hit will heals his champion by 10% of their max HP. He is an HP champion. Target has no active buffs. Each hit will also fill his turn meter by 10%. So 20% turn meter fill if they have no buffs. Plus he gets healed for 20% no matter what. Test your strength. It's 4 turn cooldown when booked. Attacks all enemies will decrease the duration of all enemy buffs by 3 turns. If there are no enemies with active buffs, grants an extra turn, but will always grant an extra turn if Kaya the Rai is on the same team, even if there are enemies with active buffs. Kind of cool. I kind of want to see what she is. She's probably going to be a Void Legendary, to be fair. They usually are. That's what they like to hook you into. I don't think we've had non-Void Legendary couple since Countess Lix and Astralon. And that really shows you something, to be fair. I could be wrong. Please, in the comments, let me know if I'm wrong. I'm wrong a lot. Ask my wife. Hey. So, Kegs of Dread. Attacks all enemies before attacking, places a 50% increased accuracy on all allies for 2 turns, and also puts True Fear for a turn. 4 turn cooldown when booked. Very cool. I saw some people in different comment sections of other content creators saying, you could pair him with Fortis after Fortis gets his buff and see if Fortis still, does stuff after for True Fear and Fear and all that. I'm really, baby. I'm hoping Fortis is going to fucking just, I really hope, just a tangent here, I hope Fortis is going to be like the new Draco Morph, the new Candrafon, and the new Mashald, because when those guys came out, they were fucking garbage. You understand what I'm saying? They were awful. Vault champions. Unheard of now. Those champions see play everywhere. But when they first came out, they were bad. Plarium realized that, and after the community had really raised concerns about it, Plarium's like, fine, fuck it, and fuck you. We're going to buff the shit out of these guys. And they did. And they went, oh God, they're monsters now. Because it's crazy. I really need to look up videos, and I should do a comparison series. I keep saying this, these different series we should do for this channel, but a comparison series of pre-buff and buff of champions that just became over the top amazing. Okay. And those three are the main three people talk about. Shout out Draco Gate, if you know, you know. But anyways, yeah. So I'm wondering, and I'm hoping, I'm really, because I went for Fortis because he's cool, because he is literally a Cthulhu Night Revenant creature, right? I'm all about that spooky shit, okay? You can see behind me, I got a bunch of like crazy dark stuff, like I got Berserk, The Boys, all that shit. My wife's real big into horror. Yeah, I'm really hoping Fortis is gonna fucking hit, because if he does, then I'm gonna be really rolling up some lethal defense-based items. Let me tell you, he might come in to be my new Void Nuker, hopefully. But I'm not holding my breath, because Plarium's really dialed it back on the big buffs they do to champions after they did those three. So let's hope. He has a passive that has 2 parts. Hideous Assistant. Whenever an enemy skill successfully activates while they are under a fear or true fear debuff, it'll fill his turn meter by 10%. Oh man, I must be having a stroke. And then he has whenever an enemy skill does not activate because they are under fear or true fear, places provoke on that enemy for a turn. This particular effect only applies when Kaya the Rye is on the same team. And then he has an aura that increases accuracy in all battles by 50. Okay, right out of the gate, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to pin it right here. Mario sound. Don't go for this fusion. He has a Fragment fusion, which is easier. If you have the resources and the time and you wish to use those resources and the time, go for him, but hold on to him and then wait to summon him at another time. This guy, Plarium really have had a bunch of poo-poo caca fusions this year. The best one I can think of was Gnut, and everybody's going to agree with that. Gnut was the best fusion this year. Probably followed by Razzlevarg, but all the other ones, I'm probably forgetting one, and somebody's going to say in the comments, "Are you a fucking idiot?" But yeah, they've just been bad, which is good, right? It's actually a very good thing, because it's giving you, the player, the option whether or not you want to go for this fusion or not. Save your resources. That's what I'm going to tell you. What I'm going to tell you is focus on the events going on right now to get the Sun Wukong souls. Okay. I'm going to be going for all the rewards. I'm pretty sure I can still hit all of them. I have to do the champion training today, but I would recommend waiting to do champ training until tomorrow, which is going to be CVC. And the Dungeon Diver still goes until tomorrow. Plus, tomorrow we have another faction tournament, but it's a bit different. It's going to be Fire Night, but it's an alliance tournament. And I think Plarium changed that at the last minute, because they're doing another tournament, but it's going to be an alliance tournament, because players were very upset that all these tournaments going on were faction based, and players in like lower brackets couldn't do them because they didn't have enough champions or good enough champions to do the tournament. But I think Plarium actually listened, and I think they changed it. I'm hoping they do. I want to believe the best in everybody, but I get cynical as I get older. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So too long, didn't watch. Pin it right here. Bing. Skip. He's very much an easy skip. You know, I guess if you're having troubles with the secret room that is Force HP champions only, he's going to be amazing in there, to be honest. Other than that, he's a skip. I like his design. He's a court jester. He very much looks like he's designed around Smo in Dark Souls. With the hammer, with the face on it and shit, and like his big fat goofy look, you know, they're eating good apparently. So yeah, I'm skipping this guy. I'm really just gonna be focusing on tournament and stuff. Halloween pack, $100. Yeah, no thanks. Sorry, my wife will shoot me. We already spent too much money. But let's talk about the summon pool. These are great. This is their nightmare summon pool. And yeah, it's very, very in tune with everything, okay? With Your the Crown's great. I got my first Xavia like 4 months ago. She's very solid. Sadly, Ellen Arl is the better of the two for Poison Explosion, but Xavia. Bad Alcazar, still really fucking solid. And I mentioned him earlier in the video with Nehkret the Great. Bad Alcazar only needs 6 books. And he's still great for like soloing content, putting out poisons, and then like farming food. Like, yay, Bad Alcazar. Shemnath. I have a Shemnath. I probably should build Shemnath up. One of the few champions in the game. Actually, I think it's the only one that has a unique death animation where I think it's a she. She just crumbles into a pile of rubble. Very cool. And this champion is like a hybrid. It's kind of like Astralon. You got to build some accuracy on this bitch. Okay, because she steals buffs and whatnot. Increases accuracy for this. Remove all buffs. Second hit ignores 20% of target's defense that have no active buffs. So yeah, you got to put some accuracy on her. Half rack. Still a great damage dealer. I'm still scared of him in arena. When I run my cleave team, like my standard cleave team is like Arbiter into Lysandra, into Yumiko, into Baron. I have to be careful, and I have to wait for the stone skin to fall off this cocksucker because he'll kill my team. He even gets really sneaky when I have Harima on the team, which is crazy. I have a Knock the Paralyzer. He's cool. He puts poisons and sleep out. He puts up decreased accuracy on his A1. If this was an AoE ability, fucking Maro, it would be great. Put him right in Hydra. Yeah, Knocked. Check him out. I have him. I have a lot of champions I need to book. Calvalax. I have a Calvalax. We went over this in the Night Rev video yesterday for the team for Ice Golem. I love Calvalax. He's great. He is a community design champion. And then we have Mashald, who I still want. I don't have, and he's great for Hydra. I really want him. He's very good. Very, very good. Now, to go over the bread and butter of this, let's look at the fusions. Okay, we have some epics. I think this is going to be the only epic that is actually in that summon pool. The last one had 2 of the epics in the summon pool. This one only has the 1. If I'm not mistaken. Yep. Pretty sure. Yeah. I'm missing 2 of the epics for the legendaries. I'm missing 2 rares for this epic. And then I pulled 56 voids yesterday. Didn't get a single one of these rares. That's fucking bananas. Bananas. But yeah. That's going to be it for me today, guys. Yeah, if you have any questions or concerns, please leave them in the comments down below. And as always, I love you. God bless and goodbye. Mwah.